Have you ever walked into a store determined to save money and left spending much more? If this happens often, maybe someone is deciding before you do, and it's not who you think. It doesn't start in your wallet. It starts right here inside, an almost invisible feeling that your brain learns to relieve by buying. The curious thing is that this thief doesn't live in your bank account. It lives in the system that tries to protect you from discomfort. While you try to resist, hundreds of signals around you say exactly the opposite. Buying seems to mean belonging. When your brain imagines a reward, dopamine appears before the purchase. It's this anticipation that seems irresistible. And you know that second before clicking buy. That's exactly where the most important battle takes place. Maybe you never lost money due to a lack of discipline. Maybe you were fighting against a brain programmed to survive. What if the problem had never been you, but just a brain trying to protect you the wrong way? The answer changes everything. Maybe you think you're only worried about money, but your brain interprets this uncertainty as a possible danger. Even before you think, your entire body has already entered a state of alert. There is a small region in the brain called the amygdala. It doesn't understand bills, it understands survival. When it perceives a threat, it triggers quick responses to keep you safe. That's why certain products seem to call your name, not because you need them, but because your brain seeks any promise of immediate relief. Do you realize what this means? You weren't born to fail with money. Your brain just learned an old strategy to deal with fear. And when we understand this, guilt finally begins to lose its strength. And there's another detail that almost no one notices. The market doesn't just sell products. It sells small bursts of hope to a brain that is seeking relief. That's why resisting feels so exhausting. The good news is that there is another part of the brain working for you. The prefrontal cortex helps slow down impulses and see tomorrow. The more it participates in the decision, the less room remains for the impulse. Sometimes, the smartest decision isn't to say no. It's to wait a few minutes. This short pause gives your brain time to switch from autopilot to awareness. True financial victory doesn't happen when you earn more money. It begins the moment you understand what your brain was trying to do for you all along. And that's just the beginning. There is another silent trick of the brain. It often gives much more value to the pleasure of now than to the benefit of tomorrow. Science calls this hyperbolic discounting, but in everyday life, it just looks like a harmless decision. That's where that familiar phrase comes in. Just this once. It seems like a rational choice, but often it's just your brain trying to trade present discomfort for a few seconds of relief. And when you see other people's lives looking perfect, your brain also interprets this as a risk, not of physical survival, but of belonging. And this feeling can be costly. The most interesting thing is that when you manage to see these mechanisms, they begin to lose strength. The brain keeps trying to protect you, but now you recognize the path it is taking. Change doesn't begin when you control every expense. It begins when you stop fighting against yourself. Your brain doesn't need to be defeated. It needs to learn a new way to protect you. Each small conscious decision strengthens a different pathway within the brain. It doesn't happen all at once. It happens repetition after repetition. That's how new habits begin to replace the old ones. So, next time you feel like buying without thinking, don't start with guilt. Start with curiosity. Ask yourself, what is my brain trying to relieve right now? You are not bad with money. You are human. And when you understand how your brain works, you stop fighting against it and start walking alongside it. If you've made it this far, remember one thing. Feeling this urge doesn't make you someone without discipline. It makes you a human being with a brain trying to protect you in the way it learned. Now I want to hear from you. At what moment in the video did you realize that it might never have been a lack of willpower? Share your experience in the comments. It might help someone else trade guilt for understanding.